Hey girls. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you today is really simple way to literally instantly double your weight loss results if you've hit a plateau or your results have kind of slowed down a little bit. And yes, like I said, it's really simple and really effective. What I'm going to talk to you about is tracking. However, this is tracking with a twist that makes it way more effective in the long term, as there are some flaws in the traditional way of doing it. So please indulge me for a few moments and watch this thing to the end, because everything I'm going to show you and all the questions I'm going to get you to ask yourself will make a massive difference. So what goes on normally when we've been doing really well, say on a diet or whatever, and then the results kind of slow down a little bit, is there's a couple of things that usually go on, and they're kind of linked to each other. So it's a bit of complacency mixed with a thing called remembering the hits and forgetting the misses. Now, what we do though is when things slow down, we automatically kind of declare, oh, fuck, this thing isn't working anymore, or it must be my thyroid, my metabolism has slowed down, it's my hormones, and list all these other things that could potentially be the cause of it. And no doubt, these things can actually come into it, but we got to start with the lowest hanging fruit, and we got to start with the most simple thing first. And the most simple thing usually is we're humans. We lose our focus. We get complacent. And like I said, there's a thing called remembering the hits and forgetting the misses. We end up forgetting a lot of stuff that we're eating during the day because we're not taking account of it. And yeah, like it happens so easily because what we can do is we end up in this kind of confused state, because it's like, well, I've been eating healthily, like, because you've been eating the breakfast the same, you've been eating the lunch the same, you've been eating the dinner the same, but it's all this other stuff that has crept in between where we've got a little bit complacent that can usually be the culprit for it. And yeah, like we have this way of remembering good stuff and forgetting the bad stuff. It's kind of convenient. It's the way our mind works to make us feel good about the situation. So yeah, the simple trick that we do to start getting those results back instantly is we start tracking and accounting for everything once again. Like they've done studies on this and it's insane. Literally, one of the studies, we underestimated our food intake by 1,000 calories a day. That is crazy. So if we're in a place at the moment where we're not quite getting the results we want, this is key. And yeah, so we have to be honest with ourselves. And this is what it's all about. It's about honest self-evaluation, accountability, and being really good at auto correction. So one of the first questions you're going to ask is, do I know exactly how much food I'm consuming every day? You know? And usually we don't, because if we're not tracking at the time, we have no idea. So it's trying to get a rough handle on that. Then you have to look at, am I doing absolutely everything I'm supposed to be doing every day, or am I missing something? And as I said, this is about becoming really good at self-evaluation, not bullshitting ourselves. So we have to be brutally honest here. And if things have slowed down, there's usually something we're missing. So yeah, we want to start tracking and accounting for everything, but this is the part, these next two are where we really change it up and make it different. So really pay attention here. What happens is when we start tracking, instantly, almost instantly, this is why it works so well, our behavior improves. We stop doing all those little other things that we were doing in between, because what tracking does, it brings us into awareness. It makes us conscious about our decisions. And awareness is one of the biggest things that we'll ever have whenever we're trying to get into better shape. But there's a problem with that. There is a massive flaw with that in what we end up doing. We still falling for remembering the hits and forgetting that it's like we're shoving our bad behavior under the carpet and just going, well, we're just going to forget about that for now. And what we want to do is we want to take account of absolutely everything. So yeah, you're writing down all the food you're having, you're trying to get the approximate amounts. And like I said, this is not about living in an app for the rest of your life. This is just about, you have notes on your phone and your phone goes everywhere with you. It takes 3 minutes, it's that easy. But what we want to do is we want to track any thoughts, feelings, or actions and decisions in relation to food. So this is where you can make the long-term change, because when you track normally, you don't account for this, you just improve your behavior, which means these things that you're just kind of shoving under the carpet for now will eventually come back and kind of bite you in the ass in the future. So you want any decision. So what, like if you decided not to have something, because you're tracking. Well, where were you when you thought of it? What was going on? Who was with you? You know, all these little details, you need to be jotting them and writing them down. Anytime you think about the food, where were you? Who was with you? What's going on? All these little details and keep a note of it will give you a chance to kind of, I suppose, create a pattern and see, is there particular areas, environments, or people that you're around the whole time where you're being tempted or where you're being led astray. But it just gives you that, like I said, it just helps create that awareness and means you can plan and prepare for things in the future, because you can't change things unless we're willing to change, and we can't change things if we're always shoving it under the carpet and forgetting about it, because it will always just keep coming back. So it's absolutely key. Any thoughts, feelings, actions, or decisions in relation to food, you need to be making note of them and making note of your environment when you're in it, which leads me to the next point. What is your environment like, and is there temptation there? You have to take note of all of this, because this is where we almost allow ourselves to get caught out sometimes. Environment plays a huge role, and what is it set up? Like, are you in the office and what you've been actually doing is you've been picking at the sweets that are there for the whole office, but they're right beside you, for argument's sake. But why are they still right beside you? You know, even just, and you mightn't have even paid attention to that before, you mightn't have noticed it, but paying attention to that part of your environment, then you can go, okay, all I need to do is move them further away. And then it's like people as well. Is there certain situations where you now are becoming aware, oh crap, I'm getting caught out there the whole time? Sometimes we allow ourselves to keep getting into these situations because it gives us a way to have an excuse. It gives us a way to say, well, it's not my fucking fault. I wasn't planning on doing it. They brought it around me, or they made me do it, or whatever. But the fact is, we're now aware that this situation is causing trouble, but we're still doing it. So it's about that brutal honesty and going, okay, do I need to tweak some things? Do I need to have a talk with somebody and say, can you please stop bringing it around me? Because like, if you've got a boyfriend, for argument's sake, and every night they're bringing home a box of Pringles and eating them in front of you, it's not going to be long before you're tucking into them. And it's happened with a good few of you guys, that you start turning around and go, oh, well, like, it was just a small handful of them. Yeah, and that adds up over the course of the day, because you're getting complacent there, then you're getting complacent somewhere else. And this is why tracking works, because it stops you being complacent. But adding this element in creates an even bigger effectiveness, because you're becoming aware of where you're getting complacent the whole time, and now you can plan for it and make permanent changes to try and fix it. So they are the two major twists on it that are absolutely key. Like I said, if you do these things, take action on them, you're going to start seeing results instantly. Also, huge one, pay attention to food quality and quantity. Massive. Just because it's healthy doesn't mean it's calorie free. You have to be watching how much you're eating of the healthy stuff as well, and trying to take account for that too. It's so simple, guys. It takes 3 minutes a day. You do it, I guarantee your results instantly start coming back. There's no point blaming this, blaming that, blaming something else, unless you're willing to do the simple things first. And it is really, really simple, and it literally will take you no more than 3 minutes out of the day. If you're not willing to do it, you have bigger problems. See you later.